Hey everyone, Dom here, and in this episode of Cubase Secrets, I'm going to show you 3 meters that every producer should know how to use. These are essential tools for judging loudness, analyzing your loops, and detecting problems not always obvious to the human ear. Let's get started. All the meters that I'm about to show you in this video are available in SuperVision in Cubase Pro. SuperVision contains a vast array of meters, and it really allows you to take a magnifying glass and actually see what's going on inside your audio. So the very first meter that I want to talk about is one of the most kind of old meters that you can actually use, and this is the view meter. As you can see, I've loaded 2 of them right here, and of course if you want to load any meter in SuperVision, you just click on this drop down menu and you can start loading different meters. But here what I've done is I've loaded these 2 view meters, and I have set the same settings to both of them. Let me show you my favorite settings for the view meter. If I go on the cogwheel right here, I always like to set this to meter mode view and offset -18 dBFS. This is a very typical setting so that we can emulate the response of an analog view meter inside Cubase. Now, why are these meters so important? These meters basically show us the energy of an audio file the way that we humans perceive it. But in order to be able to determine this, we have to know how to read the view meters. So let me show you. I'm going to play this drum beat right here. And you can see this meter jumps quite a bit. So you can see we have these really fast jumps, and then it goes back to very low. In comparison, let me show you this Rhodes loop, and this comes here. As you can see, it's purple, exactly like the channel. And you can see in this case, the meter doesn't jump so much. It stays at a territory where we are around -3, -6. And this tells us a lot. When you see a view meter jumping quite a bit and then going to very, very low values, this means that the material is very percussive. In a way, it might need a little bit of taming with compression or limiting or saturation or a little bit of tape processing. But basically what it tells us is that it doesn't have a lot of energy. We won't perceive this as loud. Imagine this, if I just snap my finger, this might be a very, very loud snippet of sound. But do we perceive it as a very, very loud noise? Are we going to close our ears because this is deafening? Not really, but if I play a very loud siren sound with the same level, we are going to be struggling. We're going to be just literally covering our ears, because with humans, we perceive sounds as loud if the loudness has duration. So you can see the difference between these 2 channels. This is the drum loop and this is the Rhodes. Of course, the drum loop has more transients and it has more peaks, but we will perceive the Rhodes part as louder. So again, let's play both of them. And I'm gonna give you one little tip. When you are mixing or when you're mastering, a view meter is a very good indication of your crest factor. And when you have like a large crest factor, meaning that the peaks are way loud to the body of the song, this means that you won't be able to make this song loud in the mastering stage. But a view meter will be able to tell you, okay, you have a very large crest factor, your mix will probably sound quiet, or you might have overcompressed your mix. So if you see these meters jumping around when you're mixing and mastering, that means you have to help a little bit with your crest factor. If on the other hand, they're stuck in one place, that means maybe you're over squashing your mix. So view meters check them out, set them up the way I showed you, and always have them on so you can take a peek of your dynamics and the loudness of your track. The next meter that I want to show you is the Spectrum keyboard, and this is a very unique meter available in SuperVision in Cubase Pro that allows you to actually see the notes of any audio material. It allows you to see the pitches of the audio material. So in this case, I have this bass. Let's play it. And I think it's so self-explanatory what this meter is useful for. So imagine you have a bass loop, you have a synth loop, you have a kick drum sample that is pitched to a certain pitch. If you want to find this pitch, this meter is going to tell you exactly where it lands. So in this case, I can see the notes. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So I can see it's E flat, D, C. Because I can see the energy of these notes right here. And of course, like with every meter in SuperVision, you can customize this. So you can change the color. And I like to fine-tune this up to a point where I can actually see the notes very clearly. For example, this is really cool. And this is great, not only for mixing, but also when you do sound design. Let's say I wanted to use one of these notes and drop it into a sampler, like the sampler track. Now I know exactly what note I am treating without having to add like a tuner or something like this. And I can see it every single time in real time. And in my opinion, it looks so much more intuitive than a tuner because it's like you're seeing a keyboard being played in real time by the audio. So this is the second meter that I wanted to show you, and let's jump into the third meter because that is one of the most important ones. And in order to show you this, I'm going to play this loop. So this loop might sound okay to you, or it might sound a tiny bit weird. And if you're experienced, then you might already know what's going on. But if you're not experienced, you might think, yeah, this sounds great. I can use it on my song and it sounds fine. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't blame you. This sounds okay. But the next meter that I'm about to show you will tell us that there's something really wrong with this loop. So let's open it. And this meter is the multicorrelation meter in SuperVision in Cubase Pro. And basically what this meter tells us is if we have any phase problems, any out of phase frequencies throughout the entire frequency range. So let's play this loop now. And basically, when we have frequencies going under, so in the negative values, that means that these frequencies are out of phase. What does that mean? Basically, that means that you might get phase issues. This might collapse when you turn this into a mono track, if this is played on a mono system, and so many other problems, especially if you have lots of out of phase frequencies in the low end, especially in a mix. This means that you should do something about it because that means that the low end has serious problems. So you might need to make your bass a little bit more mono, or you might need to fix those phase issues and you have to figure out where they come from. The great thing is that SuperVision will tell you where they come from if you start soloing every channel in your arrangement. So as you can see, this is out of phase. And that's because for some reason, maybe due to a plugin, maybe due to some processing, the right channel went out of phase. If I fix this, you will see that now it sounds, of course, way more focused and it's fully in phase. I always use this meter when I'm auditioning samples, when I'm auditioning things that I haven't designed, when I go through sample libraries, because basically there are so many times where you might have a sample that is not really a good quality sample and you add it into your arrangement and it causes problems. SuperVision with the multi-correlation meter is going to tell you if there are many problems. Now, if some frequencies go a little bit under zero, this is not a problem, especially when they are in the top end, especially when you have special effects like delays and reverbs and things like that. This is absolutely normal, so don't be scared. Don't feel that, oh, everything that goes under is going to be a big problem. But when you see things like this in a kick drum, for example, in the low end, or in a bass sound, this is something that maybe you have to completely change the sound, or you have to figure out why is this happening. Maybe it's a chorus plugin, maybe it's a modulation plugin, maybe it's a plugin that is not supposed to be used in parallel mode and you've added it in parallel and it created phase shifts. The multi-correlation meter is gonna tell you all that, and you don't have to be a super experienced engineer in order to read it. So I would suggest you incorporate this into your workflow as well. These meters are definitely going to be a great starting point when you're producing, mixing or mastering, and they're all readily available in SuperVision in Cubase Pro. Have fun exploring these modules and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.